And we are live.
Ladies and gentlemen, kids of all ages, welcome back to another edition of MovieCast. I am your host, once again, Dana Abercrombie, and I am joined by the effervescent Richard Bailey Jr. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good, Dana. Hope all the listeners and viewers are also doing great. Glad to be back for another episode.
Yay! And we have a lot to talk about. We had a little tiny game called the Superbowl that nobody watched because it was boring. And within that game, there were trailers that were released, and there was a lot of news that was dropped today because of the TCAs. So, a lot of TV news, a lot of movie news, a lot of stuff, and I am excited to talk about it. So let's get started. Now, really quick, we have another installment, two more installments of Mission Impossible. Paramount has set more sequels for 2021 and 2022. I don't know what number we're on. I have not seen the previous one of Mission Impossible. I honestly can't remember the last time I seen a Mission Impossible movie. What about you? Are you excited for more Mission Impossibles?
So I want to say this, and I have to preface this by saying a spoiler alert. If you have not seen the last movie, but the last Mission Impossible that came out, I thought that movie was awesome. The action was fantastic, and of course, the choice of Henry Cavill as a enemy, so to speak. Yeah, that was excellent. But I now knowing that they are going to have two more sequels, I think they have a very missed opportunity here because you know I have to say again, spoiler: Henry Cavill did not survive this Mission Impossible movie. I mean, he's just so good of a villain in this last movie where I think now it would have been great for him to be in these other movies, but now that they've killed him off, now I mean they have to go back to square one and get another villain that can match up well with Ethan Hunt, so to speak, Tom Cruise. So we'll see how it goes, but yeah, they did a fantastic job on this last movie, so I'm definitely looking forward to the next two. Even though I have no idea what the hell they can do and how they can top this from the last movie. But yeah.
Well, there's no details that was released. Just aside from Tom Cruise, obviously, is going to be back. Mission Impossible 7 is scheduled for July 23rd, 2021, and Mission Impossible 8 will be August 5th, 2022. So you'll have plenty of Mission Impossible in your life. Hunt. Um, Now it was some weird news that was kind of dropped that the CW is in discussion. In discussion, this has not been greenlit. They've had talks, conversations, a possible greenlit that we are getting a Gossip Girl reboot, which could work. Those who are not familiar, Gossip Girl came out in the early 2000s. It was incredibly groundbreaking for its use of technology and how, cell phones and the internet and how basically how our social lives catch up to our real life lives and how sometimes they're not the same and what happens when those realities crash and what also is it like to be a very rich person living in the upper, what was it, east side, west side of New York City, going to private schools and wearing your uniforms. So that is set for a possible reboot. I know a lot of people are excited because it's new things of what they can do with technology. I just simply want a Gossip Girl crossover with You, which is on Netflix, no longer Lifetime, which the Dan's character is now in You, where he just basically he's still a writer and he's stalking and killing people and making them fall in love with him.
Well, that'd be an excellent crossover if they did that.
That would be excellent. Like I would love that because it's the same character. So, yeah. And also another TV show that is in reboot conversations. They're discussing heavily, and I know a lot of people are kind of meh to disgusted about this, and I actually am kind of angry about this. But we're having discussions. There's been discussions going on for a Lost reboot movie or a Lost reboot TV show. So we either get a movie or a TV show, but it looks like they want to do a TV show and reboot it. Why, I do not know. So, yeah. And plus, for me, it feels like we already have a reboot. It's called Manifest. With everyone stuck on the plane and they don't know what happened and it was gone for like 5 years.
Or as we like to call it, as you had said it, one of the most annoying shows that they now have currently on TV.
It's just a really weird show. It's very weird. I'm just sitting here and I'm like, I don't know what to make of the show because it's like I want to be interested, but then it just veers off course to something like weird where I don't know if they're trying to be like a crime solving show where it's like I just rescued the kidnapped girls. So yeah, yeah. It's really confusing and a lot of things are going on at once. But for those who like it, I am happy that you like the show. In other news, I know Gary is very excited. Not Gary, Gary and Richard actually. You're very excited about it too. We are getting a Nintendo Super Mario Brothers animated movie. No details have been released. This has been a long time coming. We know that Nintendo is very, private and protective of their property, but we're finally getting an animated movie that will release in 2022. We know nothing about it aside from it will be like a CGI and very colorful.
Well, just allow me to say very briefly that I don't know if Gary is excited about this. I'm happy for the Nintendo fans, but I'm not really looking forward to this movie. Whatever it is, but I have to see a trailer to be convinced. So we'll see.
Why? It could be fun. Him rescuing the Peach again. Figuring out plumbing.
Oh yeah, even though they have debunked the rumor and said that he's not just a plumber, he has other stuff that he does.
He does a lot of things. He's very very skilled in other areas. So maybe it's like a mystery thing. I don't know, but it could be really fun and it could be exciting. The people who are doing it are the same studios that's Illumination, which is behind all the Minion films and the Grinch. So it's gonna look really good.
Yeah, yeah. Well, in that case, yeah, I will definitely give Illumination a chance because they also make another movie that I am very much looking forward to later this year called The Secret Lives of Pets 2. So
I would have never pictured you being excited for that.
Oh yeah, I love the first one, and I went into that movie not really expecting much, but I was really surprised with how much I enjoyed it. So very curious to see what they do with the sequel. So we'll see how the Super Mario cartoon movie turns out.
I hope they do it right, and I'm very interested on who they would cast as voice actors.
Oh yeah, I mean they can get the actual actor who plays Mario. I mean he's still around, but I don't know if they're going to go in that direction. We have to see.
Yeah, yeah. Just as long as it's not Ryan Reynolds, I'm good. Detective Pikachu things threw me off. So yeah, it's weird. Anyway, moving on. We are getting a Frankenstein TV show, but it's not what you think. CBS has ordered. It's gonna be a TV series in which a cop is brought back from the dead by none other than Dr. Victor Frankenstein. So it's like, yeah, it's weird. So the people who are doing it is Jason Tracy, who is the writer from Burn Notice and Elementary. And it sounds very gimmicky. Like really, really gimmicky, but he will be a San Francisco detective And like I said, he's mysteriously brought back to life after being killed in the line of duty. But as he resumes his old life, he and his wife realize he isn't the same person he used to be. They zero in on a strange man behind his resurrection, which is Dr. Victor Frankenstein. It kind of sounds like the exact same premise of RoboCop. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Frankenstein is solving mysteries. That would, it's weird, but it's not, something that's completely crazy. We had it in 2004. There was a TV pilot movie that was called Frankenstein that was based on the books by Dean Koontz.
Yeah.
Parker was in it. In 2016, there was a series called Frankenstein, and then it was the Frankenstein Code, and then they called it Second Chance. And that was about a corrupt old cop who died, who was brought back to life in a younger body. But that only lasted one season. Nobody watched it. I think it was actually good. I remember that show. So, yeah, we got that. I can feel your excitement through the air.
Well, hey, I will say I'll give. I guess I will give them credit for trying to do something different, but we'll see how that turns out.
It just doesn't. I mean, of all things, Frankenstein. But
okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. You think money? I guess. I don't know. Okay. All right. So moving on. I know there are a lot of Marvel fans, including myself, that when they had the Fox Disney merger, people thought that, we're no longer going to get rated R movies, which means we're not going to get any more Deadpool type of material. And the X-Force films will probably be very toned down and changed and make it, very Disney-y, and maybe an after-school special and some musicals thrown in there. But it seems like we're not getting that at all. Disney held like a big meeting, and the investors and Bob Iger, he was there, and people were very worried about what's going to happen with R-rated films. And he said, guess what? We're getting R-rated films. We're not saying no. We are very excited to continue with Deadpool under the Fox umbrella. And he noted that these properties, they are very different compared to what, Disney is used to doing and making. But they want that money. So they're not going to turn down Deadpool. Deadpool made a lot of money. And, we have the X-Force coming up, which is guaranteed, hopefully, to make a lot of money as well. And these R-rated characters and R-rated movies and everything else that's going to come out is no problem. So we're going to get a Deadpool 3, if Ryan Reynolds is up to it. I'm excited for it. And, yeah, makes a lot of sense because, money.
Well, it does make sense, but since we're talking about Disney in here, I'm gonna take a wait and see. Let's see them actually do this, because I know they had that Deadpool movie that they released, the PG-13 version, which I did end up watching, and it's still funny because you had Fred Savage in there, but. Mm-hmm. The censoring of the stuff, I didn't like that too much, because it's like, I know Deadpool is just supposed to, the cussing and stuff, that's what makes the character, the character. So, and the violence and all that other stuff. So I'll be very curious to see if they follow through with this R-rated thing, because I think they absolutely should. But I will take a wait and see approach for now. With a little bit of skepticism, if you will.
I don't know. I mean, they paid like what, $60 billion. We just it might work out. We might get that good old fashioned rated R. And remember the Deadpool thing, that was for cancer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it was definitely for a good cause. So that I was glad they did that. So that's totally fine. But now I want to see if they decide to do any other movies. Yes, is it going to be an R-rated movie, or is it going to just be PG-13? Well, that's what I'm waiting to see now.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, moving on, we have another spinoff of Riverdale. I know a lot of people consider The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina to be like a spin-off of Riverdale, but like the official spin-off is going to be Katie Kane. It's a new series that will be played by Ashley Murray, who is Josie McCoy from Josie and the Pussycats in Riverdale. So she's getting her very own show. Yay! So in the pilot, it will skip ahead a few years and will now follow a 20-something-year-old Josie. After leaving Riverdale, Josie is looking forward to launch a solo career. So she's going to be like the Diana Ross without the Supremes, the Gladys Knight without the Pips. So she's going to find herself foregoing new friendships, falling into new relationships, and one day become the star she's destined to be. So it sounds really, it sounds like something CW would do. Like Josie without the Pussycats. This is for you. Yay! Woo! So no, it seems like it's going to be good. And those who like, Riverdale and the Chilling Adventures, which I do like, even though I have not finished, this sounds like it's something. It sounds like it's brighter and chippier and happier. So yes, but also the show will not just focus on Josie, but it will also have other iconic Archie comic characters that have yet to be named. So more to come, I guess. Nobody knows. We're gonna see. Seems excited. I'm happy.
Sounds interesting.
It sounds interesting. Moving on. Freeform has officially picked up the Party of Five reboot. This is a show that has been known about for like a year and a half now. Basically, in the original one, there was like 5 kids, and they had to face life without their parents. Their parents died. All of the parents died in like a crash. This one, they updated it, and instead of the parents dying, it's going to be a bunch of Hispanic kids, and their parents are deported. And now they have to raise themselves in America. So, and there will be no path of citizenship. There's no DACA for them. They're not in the picture at all. So this is a very updated, I think, more interesting take on Party of Five. That I definitely will be looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be. It's definitely going to have a lot. I mean, I feel that particular story is was made that way to bring it more to the current times of the stuff that we deal with now in this country. So I'll be very curious to see how they interpret that, because I'm pretty sure that will be addressed in the show.
Yeah, it's the whole plot. So yeah, it'll be addressed, and also CW is doing a lot of now shows about deportation. We have Roswell, New Mexico, which is also taking place right during the whole deportation and the wall building thing. So CW seems to know what they're doing. I trust them. I mean, it's going to be on Freeform though, so I trust Freeform. That's ABC. They'll be fine.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. Also, we have Angie Thomas. It was just announced that Angie Thomas has written a book called On the Come Up, which takes place in Garden Heights, which is the exact location of The Hate You Give. And in that same area, there's going to be a girl named Bree, and it's about her wanting to be a rapper and her navigating life from in the projects to trying to become a star. And she may or may not interact with some of the characters from The Hate You Give, but this should be really interesting. And that is the book they just announced that they're doing a movie behind it. So the book came out, I believe, today. The movie will be out in like the next year. And this sounds really exciting. There's no casting news or anything, just the fact that it's now going to become a movie. So this should be really fun.
Oh yeah.
And I know you love The Hate You Give.
Oh yeah, that was definitely one of the best movies that I saw last year, in my opinion. But yeah, this is good. I would love to see more stories in that particular, taking place in that setting. So.
Yeah, and Angie Thomas is a very strong writer, and I think they've adapted her work very well. So I believe in this. I have faith that it will be okay. So moving on, in interesting news, people have kind of forgotten that we're supposed to get the X-Men movie 143 because this has been in the works forever. But we're still getting the movie, according to the acclaimed comic book artist and writer Brian Michael Bendis, who revealed that he's not telling anything about it or any of the plots. He says that it's going to be a surreal experience and that he is very excited for the movie to finally, if ever, be released, and that the film is based around Kitty Pryde, and the title refers to the Uncanny X-Men number 143, which is one of the earliest Kitty Pryde stories. And the role, you know, we all remembered originally it was played by Ellen Page in X-Men Last Stand in 2006 and in 2014. So this will be a very interesting approach, and we'll see what will happen, especially now that we have the whole Disney 20th Century Fox merger.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that movie.
So, yeah, and interesting enough, we are moving on. The next thing is that we're getting more American Crime Story and more American Horror Story, which is kind of weird considering the fact that Ryan Murphy is kind of no longer with FX. He's signed a big $100 million deal to work over at Netflix. And remember, previously they was renewed up until season 10. And we had this huge theory on whether or not it was supposed to be representative of the whole, the gates of, what was it, the different stages of hell. But guess we don't know with this one. I don't think Ryan Murphy will be connected to any of the American Horror Stories or the American Crime Stories. So that makes me kind of like a little nervous. I'm pretty sure that they're very capable of creating it, but Ryan Murphy just has a certain way of spinning things. So I would just have to wait and see for that one. I know you as a huge fan of American Horror Story. I don't think you've seen American Crime Story.
I haven't seen American Crime Story. I do believe that I believe this was about Versace, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that's on Netflix now, so I can definitely watch it. But
J1.
Okay, yeah, I definitely need to see these. But I will say this: to know that he will not be involved in this or American Horror Story, I think that is a real bad decision. I mean, maybe they should have just ended the show with the Apocalypse, that last one. But man, that's not good to hear that.
No, I mean, no. I don't know what could happen, but I don't know what more can be said. We've been dealing with this for a while, and sometimes it's hit or miss when it comes to them.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. Some of them seasons were like amazing, and some are.
Well, the show is definitely going to be over now because whoever takes over, they, depending on how they do, this may be the last. That next season might be the last season, but I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see, like with everything. So it should be. I don't know. That I'm just not. I'm kind of nervous about that one but I know something that you're very excited about because you love this show with all of your heart, and the fact that we're getting another one makes me even more excited. We are getting another Walking Dead spinoff. Yay! This one is going to be with Maggie. Yay!
So, all I want to say on this news is, I do like the actress, that plays the character. She's been in quite a lot of movies that I have seen in the past. So I kudos to her for, continuing to play the character. But I am so over The Walking Dead. I mean, this show should have been gotten canceled a long time ago. And then how the hell are you gonna have Andrew Lincoln no longer on the show, but the show was still going on? I mean, it was supposed to end with Rick's story. even in the comics, they are planning to end it soon, and Rick is still alive. So obviously, the comics are different from the TV show, but man, I really feel like they're running out of ideas for the show. After they deal with the Whisperers, because that's the enemy now on the show, I would assume after that it's going to be over because there's no other enemies that you can introduce that hasn't already been introduced in the comics. But I guess we'll see. But I'm tired of the show. I haven't been watching it. I do know what happens on the show, but no, I will not be checking out this spinoff, and I do not plan to check out Rick's spinoff either. So,
ouch! And don't forget the movie. We're getting a movie.
oh, a movie as well. Well, I will not be seeing any of this stuff.
Don't forget Fear the Walking Dead.
Well, Fear the Walking Dead. I'm surprised that Morgan is still alive. I'm pretty sure that will change soon, though. We're gonna say, let's get him off the show.
Sheesh, that's sad. Okay. Well, also speaking of The Walking Dead, there's a rumor we don't know yet, but Diana Guerrera, she may not return.
I can see that happening. I mean, obviously, like I said, I don't watch the show, but I do keep up with what happens. So obviously, she was in a relationship with Rick. That is a little different from the comics because Rick was actually with another character. But basically, she does end up having a kid. And when they fast forward, because what they did is in the most recent season, they fast forwarded to the future where now, Rick's daughter is now, she's about Carl's age as he was when they started the show. And now, Michonne has a baby. So Rick Jr., which is it's a kid that he's obviously mixed, but they didn't really show him too much on the show yet. You just hear him talking, but they don't really show him on camera that much. I don't know why they're afraid to do that. But yeah, I can see her eventually going away, and then you just have it be about the kids growing up trying to survive. I guess I don't know, but I would not be surprised. But once again, the show needs to be taken off. I mean, AMC is making all this money. Well, it's good for AMC. I assume people are still watching, but the show has been in a decline with the viewership for quite a while. So we'll see whether or not it eventually does go away. But if people keep watching, it's not going anywhere. So we'll see what happens.
Sheesh, that's like cold-blooded. And also, don't forget, when I said movies, we're getting several movies. And the first one is set to possibly release in 2019.
I don't know what movie this is. This has nothing to do with the Rick storyline, or is this the
Yes.
Okay, the Rick stuff. Yeah. Okay. So
movies.
Yeah. I think they said they're doing 3 movies for Rick.
So it's they're trying to set a date for 2019.
Okay. Oh well, we'll see about that. I mean, listen, I am a Rick fan, so I would be at least tempted to see what the trailer looks like, but I have no intent of watching that because, I mean, they had this whole thing where they had people believe, oh yeah, he's not going to make it. He didn't survive, and now you stretch that out over into 3 other movies, which is supposed to explain why he never made it back. So I don't know if he's going to survive because I did hear he's going to still survive after those 3 movies. So I really don't know what they're doing with the show at this point. So I will say, shout out to Telltale Games. I know they are no longer around, but I have to give them credit for how they handled The Walking Dead because that first season of that Walking Dead, no one would have ever predicted that you would take the main character and you kill off the main character. So they obviously they didn't really try to hold back. They kept it real. And now, because of that, people think that in this final season of The Walking Dead, that they may kill off Clementine, which, we'll find out what happens next month when that drops. But I just give them credit for not, not being afraid to kill off important characters. As with this show, you didn't kill off Rick. You just had him go away somewhere. So I ain't got respect for that. So that's just my opinion, though.
Sheesh. And don't forget, confirmed for the back half of its ninth season on February 10th, which I know you're definitely DVRing at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Fear the Walking Dead will return for its fifth season later on this year.
Oh yeah, and for those that are interested in watching the premiere, I heard that premiere is already available right now, but I haven't seen it. Because I got an email about that from AMC. Oh yeah, The Walking Dead. If you want to watch it, it's already on now. Yeah, but you have to have that AMC subscription, that premiere subscription that you pay a fee a month just to see stuff early. That's what that's all about. So, yeah.
Oh, and Maggie might also appear in this season of Walking Dead.
Okay.
She's not giving me answers, but if she's having a spinoff, she's most likely going to appear.
Yeah, that makes sense. We'll see.
We'll see. So we have a couple canceled shows that basically is all right since no one technically seen them since they haven't came out yet. We don't have any definitive canceled shows that's currently airing right now. I'm pretty sure that'll be updated later on this week because there's a lot of, the new mid-season is coming and they're preparing for 2020 as well. But for right now, this should really come as no surprise. We're not getting any Atlanta this year or probably next year because every darn body is working.
Yeah, well, I kind of figured that. I will say though, man, that Atlanta show absolutely fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy for what it's doing to everybody's career that is on that show, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the movies that they're working on. But yeah, that's unfortunate. Maybe we'll get another season at some point. But and listen, it totally makes sense. Just I'm happy that they're all getting success from this.
Yeah, and remember they delayed the previous season for like about a year, and then we ended up with just wonderful gems. We had the whole I can't remember that episode, but was it Benny? No, Teddy Perkins. Sorry, the whole Teddy Perkins thing. That still to this day, I'm like, oh my god.
That was a fantastic episode, and I also the episode about somebody trying to get a haircut. The whole episode. I relate to that episode because this is how ghetto people here are in Atlanta. So that was perfect.
If you're black and you have ever been to someone's house to get your hair braided, forget the salon. But like your cousin Pookie's best friend who does hair down the block, that's literally what will happen. I have been in someone's home for like 10 hours straight just trying to get my hair braided. And it's a struggle. It's a struggle, and it can be traumatizing. And by the time you're done, they had to go to the store. They got to pick up their kids. Their man came home, so they need an extra 20 minutes in the room. It's just
yeah.
Serious. It is the weirdest thing you've ever been through, and I think that they have done like a really great job with that episode. It was very accurate, and I commend them. Every single episode was really great, but that and the Teddy Perkins was just such a standout performance.
Absolutely. I agree.
So I'm happy for everyone. Brian Tree Henry is having a wonderful career, and Lakeith Stanfield, he's finally in things.
Mm-hmm.
I previously remember he was in Dragon, I forgot the Girl in the Spider's Web.
Yeah, he was in that. Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And then the actress, I think it's Zazie Beetz.
Zazie Beetz.
Yeah, she was in Deadpool. I know she has a lot of other movies she's lined up in. I don't know all of them.
Joker.
I say what?
She's doing the Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh yeah, the movie coming out in October. Yeah.
She plays like the homeless mom or something who befriends Joker.
Yeah. I do remember that.
Yeah, so. I'm very happy for them because they deserve it.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah, very talented people, and finally, people are noticing. So I'm excited. So moving on, some more cancellations. We had that ABC was originally nobody really heard of it because it was like under the radar. So when they canceled it, it was like, what's going on? ABC is canceled. It was supposed to be a Marvel's all-female superhero TV show that would feature the lesser-known female superheroes. And their daily life and struggles. And I guess it was supposed to be like you, like a light-hearted version of a DC Titans, but of course Marvel. They didn't release any of the characters. They really didn't release any of the plot, which I guess is a good thing since it's canceled now. And maybe there could be a possibility that it could go for their DC Plus streaming service. So that could happen. I know that the only really big Marvel kind of female-based TV series is the one that's the what is it? Secret Warriors with Squirrel Girl and the other characters. So I feel like it was a missed opportunity. But again, they kept saying these are like the lesser knowns. But it would have been nice to have seen it.
Oh yeah.
But we have Squirrel Girl, so yay. Which I think I'm the only one who saw.
Oh yeah, I know I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen? Yeah, it's Marvel Rising Secret Warriors. Which is, it's not bad. It shows the women, being in charge, and they're all different shapes and sizes, so that's also a really good one. And the kids really like it. You got Quake. You have Miss Marvel is in it. Patriot's in it. Inferno. American Chavez. Captain Marvel's in it. There's two Captain Marvels. There's one Captain Marvel, one Captain America. There's Exile, there's Squirrel Girl, there's Hala the Rescuer. So, there we go. Watch that instead, I guess. And also, that was canceled. It's not necessarily canceled, but it's been delayed. Like Atlanta was delayed. We are not right now getting the Bewitched reboot, which I know a lot of people are like, yay! But this one was supposed to be very good. And remember, we're still probably getting it. It's just really delayed because they have to work on the script. They want the script to be perfect. So what it originally is, it was written by Kenya Barris. Kenya Barris is Blackish, Grownish, all the ish. Yay. And it was supposed to be about an interracial blended family. And how it's like Darren, what happens is that it takes place where Samantha is a hardworking Black single mom who happens to be a witch, right? She marries Darren, who is a white mortal who happens to be lazy. And they struggle to navigate their differences, both in like the race culture, and also she's a witch. So that I thought the concept was really interesting, and how they view life differently. Also, and you have the dynamic of her being a witch. So it's not canceled. It's just not going to happen this year. But I'm looking forward to it because I really do like that concept. And there was like no cast yet, so we just have to wait and see. But also that was canceled. Now this is canceled. Dead in the Water canceled. We're no longer getting, I know a lot of people who watched the Rent live musical. I know you was one of them, Richard.
No,
Your 525,600 minutes. Just, a lot of people were really disappointed, and they were really angry because first off, it wasn't live because one of the actors broke his foot and NBC was not smart enough to hire understudies. So they instead filmed the dress rehearsal footage, and anyone who knows dress rehearsal, you're marking. And by marking is you don't go full out because you want to save your voice and all your energy for the live show. Mm-hmm. And so that's what happened. And to make it even extra stupider was the fact that it was filmed in front of a live audience. And while we, the public, got to see just the footage, the people who was actually there in the studio, they redid Rent. They just scaled down the choreography. But they got to see it live. And the footage that is on YouTube, it was brilliant. It was very well done. And that's not the story. The story is that because of the whole kerfluffle and everything that happened, NBC has officially, they literally just announced it the next day after went live, and they said that Hairspray was going to be their next live TV musical. They have canceled it. It is no more. And they said they just want to focus on regular programming and family-friendly series. So we're not getting Rent. We're not getting Hairspray. So I know you're very sad about that news. I know you was looking forward to Hairspray.
Oh no, that's all you.
No, I have no idea. Nope. So yes. Also, in the last little bit of news here, we have FX. Like I said, Ryan Murphy, who's like basically the king of FX, he's no longer there. He's moved on to Netflix. Because of this move, they are canceling Feud. Feud was a previous TV series that followed. It was going to be about legendary feuds. So the previous one we had was between Betty Davis and Joan Crawford when they did Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. So we're no longer getting any Feud series at all. And also, there was one of the next series that we were supposed to get that people were very hyped for. I know I was very excited for, was supposed to be about Katrina, Hurricane Katrina. And it was supposed to follow several different people and how the hurricane impacted them. And it was going to start before, during, and after. And we're not getting that anymore. And that broke my heart because that I was very, very interested in, but that is no more. So, unfortunately, no. So moving on, we have a couple of TV renewals very quickly that all of CW TV shows were renewed except for All American. They said it's not canceled. They're just not renewing it right now. So I'm the only one, I guess, who watches the show. It's a really good show. It follows football and, you know, what life is like in Crenshaw. And also the football plays at a very elite private school. The only one who watched. Modern Family was renewed for the 11th and final season. There's no more Modern Family after this. The Good Doctor was renewed. New Amsterdam was renewed. Here's the weird thing. We have also FX Legion. It was renewed, obviously, for season 3, but we're going to get Professor X. It's not going to be McAvoy, and it's not going to be Patrick Stewart. It's going to be another actor, completely brand new. And the thing is that it's going to end during season 3, but they are allowing the door to be open. So if not next year, maybe somewhere down the line, they want to pick up Legion again, they're going to do it. But for now, Legion kind of seems to be ending with season 3. So, sad news. I do look forward to seeing Professor X and how that's handled, because remember, that's his son.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
A Million Little Things got renewed, which I'm very excited. It's a show that follows what happens when you commit suicide and basically the fallout behind that. And it also has a little mystery to it. We find out the guy who commits suicide is not all who he seems to be. And I'm very excited it's renewed because I literally thought I was the only person who watched the show, but no. Grownish is also renewed. And I know that and again, we talked about this previously. Walking Dead is renewed, and I know you're excited. You got your DVR set. Woo!
Yeah, that is a definitive hell no. But for those that are excited, they can have fun with The Walking Dead, whatever the hell season we're on now.
I don't know. The thought was like 10. 10 is upcoming. I think it's 10. I'm not sure. It's one of them seasons. You're excited. Come on now. Yay.
Oh no. Definitely not me.
You're like, no. All right. So moving on. We have a couple, DC announced a couple of new movies coming up. Some sad news for Mr. Ben Affleck. We are getting the Matt Reeves Batman, which was originally the Ben Affleck Batman. Remember, he was bought on because of the whole deal that he made with the studio after, what was it? Argo. Remember, Argo was really successful, and then he was brought on. It seemed like so long ago.
Yeah.
He was brought on for Suicide Squad and the Justice League, and that bombed terribly. And the only upside for me was Ben Affleck's Batman. And he seemed to be the only thing that was like made me watch. And I really liked it. And he was supposed to get his own solo movie. And people were excited for that because people liked Ben Affleck as Batman. Well, unfortunately, we're not getting that. What we're getting is going to be directed by Matt Reeves. He's also working on the script. Ben Affleck was supposed to be working on the script. But remember, Ben Affleck had a lot of problems going in and out of rehab. And, life wasn't always great. But it seems that we're not getting Ben Affleck as Batman either. They're going to take a whole new approach. We're going to get the solo Batman film on June 25th, 2021. We're all still alive and well. And it's going to instead focus on a much younger Bruce Wayne. So as a result, Affleck will not be there. And actually, Affleck will be exiting the DCEU after playing the Batmans for the 3 terrible movies that came out. And also Suicide Squad. He was originally supposed to, be right there, but no. But, don't feel that bad. He's supposed to do an adaptation of Kate Alice's Marshall's I'm Still Alive. And he has other movies down the line. But this is kind of really unfortunate. And we'll just have to see who's going to play the next Batman. That's the bigger thing. Who's going to be the next Batman?
There's one question that I want to ask, and even though I think I already know the answer is probably a hell no. What about the kid from Gotham? Is he going to be in this movie at all?
No. They did him wrong too. They really did him wrong. This was for the simple fact that Gotham would have been better without Batman. Remember, it was originally pitched as a Jim Gordon story?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then you have this kid Batman running around, and so the age differences are just weird. And then they kind of aged everyone up. And if you watch the current season, which is season 5, the last season, it seems to be the most interesting one. But to be honest, it's not that great. It's still not that good. So, no, he's not going to be involved. And in fact, I know it sounds mean, but I kind of like DC Titans way more than Gotham.
Oh, whoa.
And what they did with their Batman on their season finale was crazy.
Yeah. I need to watch that, and I know that I can definitely watch it now. So I need to make it a point to check that out before we do the next show.
It was like some insane New 52 Batman. This was like cool Batman who was sick of your mess and no longer cared anymore. Like, yeah, that's a Batman I want to see. But we're gonna get a younger Batman. Hopefully he's not a teenager. Hopefully we don't have to relive his parents getting shot, because I really don't care. And then also we're gonna get a Batman and Joker, because you can't have a Joker without a Batman. So even if it's a cameo, we're gonna get that happening. And also remember, we're also gonna get the Martin Scorsese joke with Leonardo DiCaprio. So I'm sure that will feature somebody's Batman as well. So this younger one, good for them. If you like it, good for them. I hope it doesn't suck. I'm kind of Batmaned out. I'm sorry. I like what they're doing with DC Titans, but other than that, I'm Batmaned out. So also moving on, they have announced that we knew this already. We're getting a Suicide Squad sequel, and it's going to just be called The Suicide Squad. As I said previously, James Gunn, he is going to write it and direct it. And as you said previously, it will be starring Batista, because we all know Batista loves himself some James Gunn.
Oh yeah, he'll be there.
He's a huge James Gunn fan and stood right by his side. But there really isn't many details announced about it. So we really don't know who's going to be in it. We don't even know a cast yet. So obviously I'm going to think that obviously they're going to just bring back everyone from the original, including the Joker, which I know many people did not like Jared Leto's performance, but too bad because he's also doing like 3 other Joker movies. It's a lot of Joker movies. So he's doing like a whole bunch of other Joker movies.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. So this one should interest James Gunn. He's an writer. And remember, he also has that evil superhero movie that's coming out too. So he's an incredible writer, and it should be a lot of fun. There are rumors that Vixen may be in it, Nightshade may be in it, Killer Frost could be in it, but remember, Killer Frost is also on the CW show and in Flash, so I don't really think that they'll have her, but we don't know. But it should be very fun, and I look forward to Batista, and it will be released on August 6th, 2021. So yay! And we still, for the record, don't have a Guardian of the Galaxy 3 movie. So yay. So in weird news, we're also getting DC Super Pets, which I kind of laughed because I was like, I didn't fully understand what the heck that meant. But it's literally DC Super Pets, which is about the pets of the superheroes, like Batman, and Superman's dog was Crypto. And they're going to follow, I guess, a day in life of the pets and their crime fighting abilities. I know that it was originally a cartoon. It's very big in the comics. I just did not know. It is going to be released on May 21st of 2021. It originally originated from the Adventure Comics, and like I said, it's about the animals, and it will be more than animated. It's going to have like a live action CGI hybrid. Like, remember the Smurfs? The Smurf movie? So you got some human, or better yet, the upcoming Detective Pikachu movie. So it's going to be that blend of CGI live action hybrid. There's really hardly any details. We really don't even know which animals are going to appear. It could be anything through Bat Hound or Crypto to Superdog. Nobody knows anything. So it's going to be a lot. I know it's going to be possibly like a friendlier, lighter side, maybe similar to Shazam's tone. Mm-hmm. I don't exactly expect it to be dark and ominous. So there we go. That's what we're having. So yeah, moving on to the much bigger news that I know Richard is very excited for. There were a lot of trailers that were dropped during the Super Bowl. I thought he was just as much glued to the trailers, just as he was glued to the game. And I know.
Well, yeah, the trailers were, I guess you could say, more interesting than the game itself. Some of the trailers, not all of them, but some.
Yeah. You didn't like all of them? Well, that's kind of
they were okay. They were fine. They were fine. Yeah.
Oh snap! So you said they all sucked. Okay.
Oh no.
You didn't like it. You said they sucked. Okay. Well, the first one that was the big one we had was the Hobbs and Shaw. And is reaction packed. We got Dwayne Johnson is again the former U.S. diplomatic security agent, and you had Luke Hobbs, who is Jason Statham. He's the ex MI6 agent, and they're going to be teaming up to save the world. It's going to be Hobbs' 4th time, as mentioned in the trailer, of him saving the world. But this one seems interesting, not even because of Dwayne or Jason, but because of Idris Elba. Yes. He is the international terrorist named Brixton, and he is like indestructible. He's like half machine, half man, using like the modern technology of everything. And it looks really interesting. And I know that he said like he's dealing with the future of the planet, and he says he's the necessary shock to the system and the human evolutionary change, bulletproof superhuman. So, boom. I'm excited for it.
Oh yeah. For me, this is a movie that I will absolutely see opening weekend. Because I want to see how over the top and ridiculous everything is in the actual storytelling of the actual. I mean, this is what makes it a fun movie, you know. And again, I will say, um, yeah, the team up of The Rock and Jason Statham. Uh, yeah, that's awesome. But when you throw in Idris as an enemy this time, there's a lot of things that are very that I found very awesome about that trailer. So I'm looking forward to it, even though people will say it's dumb fun. But yeah, this is still like it'll be a great time at the theater just to see how over the top everything is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm definitely going to see that, and we'll give a shout out to Tatiana because I know she has the biggest crush on Idris Elba.
She does.
So yeah.
But also really interesting, and I was kind of upset that it wasn't included in the trailer. Roman Reigns is playing The Rock's brother.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, that's the news that I mean, I'm happy for Roman Reigns. I hope that he is you know, able to recover from what he's well. I hope that he's able to, you know, get through this, get through that process. But glad that he is going to be in this film. They didn't show it. That's fine. You know, I like I said, I don't want to see any more trailers for this movie though. I just want to see the movie, and that is something that I'm definitely going to say about a few of these other trailers that that you're going to be mentioning here tonight.
What? Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah. 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 I can see that. But there's also another one that I know that I don't want to see anything else because what I did see during the Super Bowl trailer is kind of making me angry that I saw it because I think it might be a plot twist or a spoiler.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that has to do with Us. The movie Us was it broke the internet when it first debuted their trailer. And the second one added more footage. It's a little bit of the same, but it added a little bit of more footage. And it kind of seems that we know that it's them playing another version of itself themselves, and that there's a really unsettling doppelganger, and there's a lot of symbolism that is involving masks and rabbits and like a lot of scissors, and the visual effects look very amazing, and I still don't fully know what's going on. This one did not have the incredible "I Got Five" on it
Yeah.
remix that kind of like made you really engrossed on it, but instead it kind of revealed during a fight scene that the teeth kind of maybe look like vampires. I know that there was one scene where they were fighting and
Yeah.
there may have been something with vampires, and I don't want that to I don't want to know that, but it was so in your face that I don't know. I honestly don't know. And I
Yeah.
know that I don't know.
Yeah. You know, I don't know either. I did see the trailer. Actually, saw it just a little bit ago. Yeah. I mean, all I know is that this is a day one movie for me because you know, like I said, you know, when you talk about Get Out, there was stuff in that trailer that had you think one thing, and then you see the movie and it's other stuff that you didn't really pick up on before. So I'm pretty sure that there's a lot more to this particular movie that he's not going to reveal every single detail in the trailer. So yeah, I just want to see the movie, and you know, obviously it'll be out next month, so we don't really have too much longer to wait to see the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I absolutely positively did very much enjoy the trailer, enjoyed the original trailer, and I'm pretty sure that the makers of that song, I Got Five on it. I'm pretty sure that they really enjoyed the fact that their music is being used in this movie because that was trending the same day the trailer, you know, they debuted as well. So it's gonna be a nice a very nice ride. It's going to probably have a lot of messaging in it, so I'm looking forward to
Yep. And those royalty checks are coming in, so they're happy about that.
Yes.
Those are royalty checks. So also another one that came, I'm not was the it was kind of weird. It was the Shy. They kind of it was very brief. But we are getting season 2 of The Shy. I know that you're very excited. I know that I'm very excited. The first season was amazing.
Yes.
It was just incredible. Um, the second season looks like it's going to be even more incredible. So I know a lot of things that I, can't spoil everything, but it looks like it's going to have a deeper impact. So
Oh
that's
yeah.
what it's like.
Oh yeah. I absolutely can't wait for that season. I don't want to know too many details either. Although I do know that Lena actually had an interview recently, and she said that there's a lot of twists and turns in the story that they're going to be telling this season. Obviously, for those that saw the first season, you know how some of the stories ended, and how was you can get an idea of what some of the things other characters are going to have to deal with this season. So I like to go in knowing as little as possible. But I'm very much looking forward to the second season. And I've been telling a lot of people they need to watch this show. Gary, if he's listening to this podcast, I'm going to say it again. He needs to watch the show as well. As a fan of The Wire, I'm pretty sure he would enjoy the hell out of this show.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what's in store for the season. And obviously, it's not coming back till I believe they said April 7th. But
First Sunday in April.
okay, so that's not too bad. I think that's like around Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely something to look forward to.
And also, it's going to focus a little bit more on, Brandon. He wants his food truck to be a success. Also, there's like the differences with his girlfriend Jerica, and I admit he's going to have a lot of growing up to do as he gets custody of his son. And I know his mom is still around, Jada.
Yeah.
Who's like wants to break free and have a life of her own because she's tired of raising other people's children and her own children. Kevin has to deal with the trauma of that what he experienced in his younger life, which kind of helps him form his bond with Papa and Jake, whose older brother Reg is exposed to like a weird, twisted lesson in street survival.
Mm-hmm.
Ronnie will attempt to come to terms with the killing of Brandon's brother and kind of like reclaim his life. And there's going to be a whole new investigation that Detective Cruz has to launch.
A new investigation. I don't know what that could be.
I don't know. Maybe someone dies. I don't know.
Interesting.
We'll see. Don't know. So that seems to be a big, very exciting one. Now, also moving on a little bit to the bigger ones we had was Avengers Endgame, which so far their marketing has been beautiful because they don't tell us anything, but their trailers evoke they so much feeling and emotion from me that I'm crying once again. It feels like I just watched Infinity War, and that impact that you have, like, what just happened? And that it's gonna break your heart. People are gonna die and they're gonna stay dead. But it just, my gosh, it looks so beautiful. And it literally doesn't do anything. It looks so good. Any thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, that's a movie where I don't want to see any other trailers, but there is going to be another trailer, like another one or two more trailers. I'm pretty sure they'll have a trailer attached to Captain Marvel next month, but I really don't want to see any more trailers because, yeah, you see the trailer, you remember the emotional impact of what happened at the end of the last movie. So I don't want to see any more hints as to what's going to happen. We did know that Ant-Man was going to be a part of this because we saw that at the end of the last trailer, and then you see him in this trailer standing right next to another Avenger. Yeah, I mean, I don't need to see any more. I just want to know when can I get my tickets because the tickets are not available yet, but they will be soon. I'm sure of that.
Yes. And I thought it was really interesting how remember how it was going over in New York and it showed City Feel
Yeah.
and it has to deal with the impact of the snap. Half of the population is gone, and that includes all animals and I guess plant life because Groot is gone. Really stupid to me. It kind of defeats the purpose of there being resources for everyone if you just snapped away everyone's food. But okay. Um, so yeah, you kind of seen like this kind of devastation. I remember when we left off with Infinity War, not Infinity War, no, Infinity War. There was, all these accidents that was happening because people disappeared. It was like the rapture. So like people was, the airplane accidents and train accidents and obviously car accidents and just I'm pretty sure the heart attacks that people had, if they even survived the heart attacks from watching someone just up and disappear into ash.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the leftovers. If you ever seen the show The Leftovers or heard about it, it's just basically the leftovers. You have to just deal with the impact of what it's like, having everyone just disappear. And it
Oh
was
yeah.
just beautiful dialogue. And you saw the characters, and it kind of like, even though it's literally didn't say anything, they had each character had its own moment to just grieve. And then they kind of realized we have to, we have to get our stuff together. We have to fight back. And I know that takes place years after the snap. This is not like, a 1, 2, 3 thing. This is years later. And it, oh man, it broke my heart. It just broke my heart so much. It broke my heart and oh man, I felt it. I felt it in my bones. I felt it in my soul. But it seemed like it was going to be very it's gonna be heartbreaking. It looks like it might just destroy me. I don't know about you. I know the other one I said, oh, it's gonna destroy me, and I left out. Like Tony can attest to this. I was like in tears. And I just everyone in the audience was just like staring at the screen, like, what did we just watch? And then remember at the end credits, the very, very end, it was like Thanos will return. And you're just like, oh my gosh, where's everyone else? So yeah, they did it. And then oh man. And yeah, man, and then you had Iron Man and him, it looked like we're gonna get weird pairings because we kind of saw Tony Stark with the Nebula, who seemed to be wasn't she like the only survivor on Titan? So
Yeah.
they saw them like building something. Maybe it's like a way to get back to Earth or to communicate with the other Avengers. And remember, he doesn't know what happened to the other guys. So they kind of were separated. And then I know they showed Steve Rogers. They showed Natasha. We had Rhodey. We had Bruce Banner, who's still Bruce Banner and not the Hulk because he's freaking Hulk. I'm done, man. We also had Captain. No, Captain Marvel's not. But we had. It should be interesting how Captain Marvel will kind of like enter into this. And I kind of wonder if there were scenes that. Well, obviously there's scenes, but we also had Rocket Raccoon, who I know wasn't in the first trailer, but came out during the second trailer. And everyone was just kind of really sad. And it was just really sad. And I could think there was Thor was in it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he was kind of like. Remember when they went out to Thanos' home? I guess his farm. Remember the very end of the movie when he sat down and he kind of like smiled, looking at what he's done at the very end?
Yeah.
I believe that was his farm. So we can see Thor was probably on his farm, or maybe that was a scene from Wakanda. I'm really bad at geography and locations, but he was there, and Wakanda looks a hot mess. And there we got a scene of Hawkeye. Doesn't really reveal anything, but we got like a small smidgen of it. But the thing for me, it was just so emotional. And we saw like the setting of the sun, which like just made it even more sad. But yeah. So yeah, We'll see what happens. I'm excited. I don't want to know anything else. I don't want to see any more trailers. But right now, they're doing a really good job of showing us nothing but telling us everything. So I'm excited about that. So one of the other kind of weird trailers, I thought my cable went out or there was something wrong with it. And I was like, oh, yeah, I don't have to watch the game anymore. We got the Twilight Zone TV series, which is narrated, written, and produced and directed by, once again, Jordan Peele, who's doing everything. So it was basically him just going through a stadium, and it was like looked like technical difficulties, and it had like him just basically narrating that the original Twilight Zone kind of tagline, and just us expecting there to be more. Just basically saying it's going to be on CBS All Access, and that it should be really exciting. And they didn't really show anything. They didn't show any of the stories, but just him narrating and the TV glitching. So in that small little minute, I know I'm excited for that. I don't know. You ever like a fan of Twilight Zone?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I was a fan of Twilight Zone. That trailer was interesting. I forgot that he was the one that is working with the newer reboot of the series. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, no doubt about it. I can't wait for that.
And those who are interested, it will air on April Fool's Day. That was kind of fun. So yeah, I'm excited. I have no idea what any of these stories are going to be. I don't want to know. Just surprise me.
Absolutely.
So moving on, we have they released this teaser for Birds of Prey, which is basically the Harley Quinn movie. And it looks really interesting. It doesn't tell us anything. I know that it takes place after Harley Quinn and the Joker, basically they break up. And it seems like this is going to be, Harley Quinn is now free. And she's able to do whatever she wants to do. And she can live her life. And there were screenshots that I know that was released online of her looking really happy. And she was just basically eating a sandwich. So she was just really, really happy. And she's no longer with the Joker. And it looked really good. I don't think we're going to get a Batman because we know that whole debacle with Batman that's happening. I don't know if Joker is going to be in it. Maybe it might be like a scene. Because remember, at the very end of, kind of within the movie during Suicide Squad, remember he kind of threw her off a roof?
Yeah.
And the Joker just disappeared. And then she was kind of mad at him. So I don't know if we'll have like a reunion before she's like, screw you. I don't want anything to do with you anymore. So that could happen. But it looks like it looks like it could be fun. It looks very fun this time, and it looks happier than the other Suicide Squad movie that was kind of terrible.
Yeah. I think
it was kind of terrible. And I know, it was terrible. And the full title is called Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. That title alone should let you know that it's going to be somewhat exciting.
Yeah, I mean, Margot Robbie, she does an excellent job in this particular role. So I will check it out. But yeah, like I said, I will cut DC some slack. I still have not seen Aquaman. I will see it now since I know that there is a way for me to see it. But I know that they're not really focused on the shared universe thing anymore. So I'm fine with that. Let's see how this movie is individually, aside from all the others.
But and also, even though it was very short, it was like 30 seconds. What you did get to see was like Harley Quinn, being happy-ish. She's smiling and playing with her lollipop, and then she's kind of joined by Huntress and Black Canary.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what that means, but Huntress is played by Mary Elizabeth Winston,
Yes.
and she is one of the many vigilantes of Gotham City. And she is the daughter of the powerful crime boss. And she witnessed murders of her family at a very young age. And that, she now has her crossbow and the Huntress identity, and she's waging war with Gotham criminals. So, yeah. I know she often fights with Batman, but I don't know if Batman is going to appear in it. I don't know which version of Batman. We'll have to see with that one. Black Canary, I'm very excited, is going to be played by Jolie Smollett.
Mm-hmm.
She is this younger sister of Jesse Smollett. She plays, like I said previously, she's going to be Black Canary. She's the second woman to carry around the Black Canary mantle after her mother. And she trains with the world's finest fighters. She's molded herself into like a fearsome warrior, and she knows a lot of martial arts. And she has a very interesting move, like a sonic scream. So she starts screaming, which is why, Canary. And she works sometimes with Green Arrow, as we've seen in the CW show Arrow. So she's going to be a part of Birds of Prey. Cassandra Cain is in it. She's going to be played by Ella J. Bosco. She is the daughter of the feared assassin David Cain, who is a legendary martial artist, Lady Shiva. So, because of her background, she can play a very important role. And then we also have Renee Montoya, this is what I'm really excited. She plays by Rosie Perez. And you can't really tell, but it's Rosie Perez who's like drinking out of like the beer bottle. And I believe she's a cop in Gotham City. So I'm excited for Rosie Perez. And then you have Black Mask, who I think is a big bad baddie. He's played by Ewan McGregor. He's the big time, crime lord. And he has a reputation for sadism and brutality, so maybe we'll get a little darkness with that. And there's Mr. Zaz, who's going to be played by Chris Messina. So he's a villain that they have to worry about. And it could be good, even though we kind of didn't get anything aside from just them standing around doing poses.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure that it is going to be good. I know that she was one of the bright spots of Suicide Squad, the original. Even though we agree that movie was a hot mess, yeah, she was a bright spot, and I thought Will Smith was okay, even though he played himself. But yeah, they both made the movie somewhat okay. I could tolerate their characters better than the others, so I'm pretty sure that this movie will be totally fine. But yeah, I guess we'll know for sure next year.
Yes, we shall know for sure. Now I know one of the big trailers that you are so excited for. You can't wait. You bought your tickets the second you saw it. Captain Marvel.
Well, no, I didn't buy my tickets. I'll just say this of Captain Marvel. When I saw the first trailer, I wasn't really impressed, to be honest. And I just want to make it clear, I'm not hating on the character. It's just that when I hear these interviews that Kevin Feige does, and he says, this is the most powerful character in the Marvel universe right now, and obviously the one that's going to have to deal with Thanos, I need to be convinced of that. So obviously when I see this movie, after I see the movie, I'll have a good idea as to whether or not I fully believe that concept. But the trailer, when she was in costume, it looked okay to me. It looked fine, but it wasn't like the movie where I'm like totally excited. Versus the Avengers trailer where I'm like, yeah, day one, I'm going to see that. But I will see this just so I can get an understanding as to why this character is important and why she is connected to what's going to happen in the next Avengers movie.
See, it could be good because I kind of said the same thing about Guardian of the Galaxies. I'm like, what's the Guardian of the Galaxy? And then when I saw it, I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah. Guardians was fantastic. Absolutely. It definitely could be amazing.
Ant-Man to me was a throwaway character, and then you realize how vital he is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right about that. Absolutely.
You got the whole quantum realm thing. So, she could bring something that's amazing. And this, the trailer seemed to be very focused on, women taking over, and, Carol Danvers and her questioning her confidence in her own abilities. And she kind of have like the mantra. And she's out there proving the boys that she's number one and can go the distance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's going to be. It still will be a good movie. I have no doubt. I mean, it will definitely answer questions. We'll get to know why. What happened to Nick Fury's eye? I guess we'll find out what happened to his eye because he had both his eyes in that in both of these trailers. So
Yep.
we'll find out what happened to him as well as other stuff. So yeah, it's interesting from that standpoint.
And then we finally got to see Captain America, not Captain America, Captain Marvel use her what she looks like when she uses her powers, and that kind of that she has. And I know that she gets all of her energy from Kree. Is it Kree? I believe it's Kree.
That's correct.
In energy, so that should be really interesting. But the thing is, and also we also got Jude Law. We got some Jude Law in there. So he looks like he's in shock when he was, this whole thing was him just looking and staring and like, oh my God. And the thing that I'm really interested, like the only selling point for me to this movie is I want to know, how did they make both Coulson and Nick Fury look younger for the entire movie?
I think that's easy. It's computer generated effects. I'm assuming.
I want to see that facelift. I want to see how they sustain it for the full movie, because usually we get clips. Remember when we had the I think it was the previous Iron Man or one of them, when they had like the younger version and he was reliving his parents dying and he was younger.
Oh yeah.
But I want to see it for the full movie. That I would love to see. So a nice, smoothed out, younger looking Samuel Jackson. That's what I'm excited for.
Oh yes, absolutely.
So we shall see.
Hey, well, that's coming real soon. I mean, about a month from now, because I think it's March 7th or something like that. So yeah, literally a month from now. So looking forward to that.
That is very true. So moving on, we have a couple reviews. I know you went and saw maybe a movie.
I did see a movie. Let me just say this right now. I'm pretty sure after people hear what I have to say about this movie, when they hear the first thing I say, they're gonna say, "Well, that's very rude to say," but it's just my opinion. I went to go see this independent film called Miss Bala, and the main takeaway that I have from this film is that, man, I would love to visit Mexico one of these days. Yeah, I mean that.
No.
That is literally all I have to say about the movie. I mean, I I know it's billed as a action thriller. I didn't think it really had that much action in it. I mean, obviously, a lot of people in these shootouts, the intense shootouts, where I see that that movie did teach me that both the cartel and the police do not know how to shoot, or it takes a lot of bullets to shoot somebody, to kill them. So that was interesting to see that. But I mean, I thought it was visually the movie looked great, because it made me want to go to Mexico, to visit some of those areas, to go to that place where they had the barbecue. Yeah, I would love to try that barbecue. The barbecue looked good, but overall, I don't really think there was nothing original about the story whatsoever. And then the little twist that they reveal into the movie later on is I don't really think it's a major twist. I think it's a pretty obvious twist, in my opinion. But for what it's worth, I do like the people that were in the movie. I mean, I think that Gina Rodriguez did a good job. I know she was in Annihilation, which is another movie that I know you absolutely loved.
Oh gosh. Annihilation is one of those movies that you're either gonna love, hate, and I did not like that movie.
but I think she did a better job in this movie as a leading role. However, I will say that obviously they had as they show in the trailer. This is really a spoiler. As they show in the trailer, the guy is teaching her how to shoot the gun. I thought when I saw that trailer, so she's gonna be just going throughout the movie, just shooting up all kind of people. But that wasn't exactly as as I saw it unfold. It's a lot different than that. But I will just say this: the other guy who played the I guess the main antagonist, if you will, quote unquote, who taught her how to do the gun. I like that actor because, as I said before on this show, he was in Ray Donovan a couple seasons ago. He played a boxer that was very much like Ray in terms of his personality and then his struggles with drugs and stuff like that. And he actually was hooking up with his sister that season as well, which made it an even more controversial character to begin with. But I like that actor, so I think he always does a good job in these types of films. So I'm curious to see what he does next. And of course, Anthony Mackie in this movie as well. Although we didn't see too much of his character, but he does play, I would say, an important role in the movie. But I mean, overall, it was, I guess I'll say it's an okay action flick. I'm not going to say it's amazing. No, I've seen a lot more amazing action movies, but I mean, it was tolerable for me at the most. And once again, it did let me know I need to take a trip to Mexico one of these days so I can get to see how all this looks close up.
I had a completely opposite reaction.
What was your reaction?
I liked the movie. I thought it worked better. It should have been like a Netflix or Amazon or Hulu movie so you could watch it at home. It's not exactly worth the 20, I don't know, 20, 25. I'm not sure what people pay. It's not worth that ticket amount. But I thought it was really well done. And then it was decent. And finally we got a movie where it wasn't like, oh my God, I fell in love with him. It was told.
Yeah, no, I definitely wasn't expecting that. So I'm glad they didn't take that approach.
It was told completely from her perspective, and you got to see like the crimes that were committed, how in shock she was during the whole thing, and she had just one mission, and she's like the best friends who's ever existed. Because had that been other people, bye. You can forget about your friend being rescued from the cartel. That's just not happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The friend. I felt for the friend and the brother who was obviously didn't know what was going on. They threw that in there to make you even more sympathetic towards what was happening. So glad that the issue eventually got resolved. But I do agree, this movie definitely should have been a Netflix or Hulu movie because, it felt like that would have been better. And judging by the fact that the movie bombed at the box office, perhaps that is a true fact that, yes, it probably should have just been on Netflix or Hulu.
It really wasn't their fault. I don't think, because you have Glass that it's also going up against.
Another movie that I'm surprised that was once again number one. But that will not be the case this weekend. We all know what's going to be the number one movie this after this weekend.
Oh no, you might be surprised about what the order of the movies on what happened.
Oh, well.
You don't know what was actually number one.
Wait, for this week.
You might be very.
So it wasn't Glass.
Do you want me to tell you now? I'll tell you right now.
Oh yeah. Let's
All
go
right,
ahead and do that.
let's segue into the box office. All right. So number one, you ready?
Yeah.
Glass.
Yeah.
Who is
Interesting.
Glass?
I
Wait,
didn't see
but
that
listen,
coming.
who's Glass? You didn't see that coming at all. Not at all.
You know that tells me. I mean, there wasn't really any movies that was really out last weekend because I wanted to see a movie this past weekend and there wasn't really anything out. And then I saw, oh, this is out, so let me go see this. It was this or something else that I didn't want to see. So I said, yeah, let's go see this. Um, but yeah, that was number one. So the question I have is, how far on the list is Miss Bala? What number did that make on this list?
You want to know right now, or do you want me to surprise you with the list? Because there's some
Okay.
surprises in this list. Okay, so
Okay.
number two,
Yeah.
ready?
Yeah.
Number two is The Upside. Kevin Hart going strong.
Wow, that's crazy.
Go-
That's
You ready
crazy.
for number?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Number three, Miss Bala. Boom.
Well, there you go. But
There you
man,
go.
what the upside? I mean, though that's. I mean, I'm really surprised by that. Because I thought people say, well, they already saw the upside, so we don't need to see anything else.
Nope.
That's a
It pulled in
that's kind of crazy.
8.6 million for The Upside. Miss Bala
Wow.
at 6.8. Number four is a little shocking. It's Aquaman. In there, dude. Number five, I guess because it's winning awards, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. That's great.
Green
Still
Book
work.
is number six. The
Interesting.
King Would Be King is number seven. Number eight is A Dog's Way Home.
I'm surprised that King movie is number 7 because I would have thought that was a little bit higher on the list. Maybe it was higher last week when it came out.
Number four.
Okay, so it never was in top 3. That's interesting.
Number eight is A Dog's Way Home.
Yeah, that's the Homeward Bound movie.
Holding it at the number 9 spot is Escape Room.
Oh, okay, there you go.
And number 10 is They Shall Not Grow.
Yeah, okay. I'm surprised that isn't higher because that movie also came out. But I guess it's because it's a documentary. It's a different type of movie. I guess not a movie that I guess everybody would want to see. That's why they're like, no, I don't want to see this. But I'm surprised that isn't higher on that list because I've heard nothing but positive things. Even the Metacritic score, the Rotten Tomatoes, everything is relatively high for that movie. So I'm surprised it isn't a little bit higher on the box office list.
Yeah, but well, it's really hard enough for documentaries to compete.
Yeah,
When you get Glass running around.
that's absolutely true. So one thing I will say real quickly is that I know that there are 2 big movies coming out this weekend. And I'm gonna go ahead and make a prediction right now that I do believe that well, we'll see what happens. I believe that Cold Pursuit is going to be, depending on what happened with Liam Neeson. If he says something else controversial in the next 48 hours, then that movie will not be number 1 next weekend. But what what men want, is definitely going to be in the top 3. I don't know if it's going to be number 1 or number 2, but I would think that Cold Pursuit probably has a chance at number 1, but we'll see because it all depends what the backlash is going to be from them comments. So
Well, we'll see, because remember, they already canceled the red carpet. It's backlash.
So Taraji gonna be number 1 then, I guess.
Most likely. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. It wasn't a really smart thing to say at
No,
all.
oh no, it wasn't. It's very horrible timing as well when you know there's a movie that you worked on coming out. So that's a problem.
I don't even know why he said it, but he said it, and now I don't know. It's the wrong time, man.
Yeah,
Wrong.
yes it is.
Especially on the birthday of what would have been 24th birthday of Trayvon Martin. So yeah,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
yeah, bad timing. He should have never said anything. But
I
yeah, he
agree.
said so. Yeah. So that was the box office, and shocked you with your Miss Bala. With nobody's gonna go see it. So boom, number three.
Well, I'm glad that I'm glad that it made some money. I
It,
believe the budget is 15 million, so it still needs to make some of that money back.
yeah,
Um,
pulled in 6.8.
So that's a good start, but hopefully more people will go see it, and then of course the DVD, and then the international sales. Hopefully, it will eventually make that money because it's already made half, well, close to half,
Yeah,
close to half. Yeah. So we'll see.
we shall see. So any other movies that you've seen, Mr. Bailey Jr.?
Oh, that was it for this week. I am going to go see Cold Pursuit, so if I will definitely report back next week and share my thoughts on the movie as well as how uncomfortable it is to see that movie and see the people that are also watching the movie how they will react because I think it's going to be very interesting to see if anybody if there's nobody there or whatever. So, but I will be there because I got AMC A list, so
That's
I'm
true.
definitely going. Yes, I'm
You got
definitely going.
that. So you good.
Yeah.
I happened to see a little small independent movie this week.
Uh-oh,
It's
what's that?
it's a little tiny sequel called The Lego Movie 2.
Oh yes, I'm familiar with this movie.
Yeah. So basically the whole team is back. And those who remember at the very end, um, the sister is now joined in to play with the brother. Remember before it was the son was trying to just, wanted to play with his dad, but dad was like, "You can't touch my Lego, you know.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
president of business." He was all like stuck up and you can't do anything, and at the end he learned that, hey, my son can enjoy with the funness and the good times and we can play together. And that was kind of like the plot and the whole meaning, and then it ended with like he has to now play with his baby sister, and she has her Lego set, which is the Duplo set that's meant for the little kids with the big blocks. So it incorporates the actual Lego product so darn well. And once again, it mixes the real world with the imagination that is Lego world. I felt that it relied a little bit too heavy on the human side of things, even though that was the part that drove the story the most. But it does cut a lot between Lego world and human world that I felt wasn't necessarily necessary. This time we have the town has been decimated by Duplo, and now they have to join forces and destroy the Duplo. The Duplo wants to have this weird ceremony where they marry off one of the characters. And we don't know what it means. It could be the destruction of all of the Lego City worlds. And there's a lot of characters that they brought back, but then there's a twist to it. Because of the whole Fox Disney deal, Warner Brothers doesn't have the usage of a lot of the Disney products that they did before, but they was very smart about it. They created knockoff characters. So like we'll have like a knockoff Avengers, and instead of the Avengers, they kind of use the Justice League more. So it's like all of these knockoff like weird characters. They did one that was kind of like really funny, even though they have the rights to it. They did the whole Harry Potter series, but it's like a weird accent Harry Potter where you can clearly tell that it's fake. and they have this incredible subplot going on with Bruce Willis that I can't say anything about because it's just like, what? There's a lot of things going on in this movie at once. It's not as magical as the original was, but it's just as fun. And it does a lot, it tells a lot with, you know, joining different Lego sets together and how the whole family can get on it, can get in, you know, into the story and get into playing. And it's really about, you know, families coming together. But at the same time, there's a lot of destruction going on, and we learn more about characters. We learn more about Emmett, and Emmett, you know, he's trying to fit the mold and being, you know, that bad guy that people want him to be, that cool, you know, dark and brooding guy, but he can't help it because he's just always happy all the time. Remember that everything is awesome? And they brought back this, by the way, it's a nice remix to it. They brought back the song. There's a lot of music that the Lonely Island did that's really, really funny and really smart. And Batman is in it and all the other characters. So it's very well done. And it's very self-aware. And I really love this movie so much so.
I definitely need to check that out. It was almost an opportunity where I could have seen it, but that advanced screening was absolutely packed, sold out. So there was no way that I was going to make that. But yeah, I will check it out in the future for sure.
Yes, you could see that instead of Cold Pursuit.
Oh no, I got to see Cold Pursuit because I already got that ticket, and I am determined to see how this movie is, whether or not it's a trash film or you know, yeah. Now the controversy makes me want to see about this movie and what the hell he was thinking when he conducted that interview. So yeah, I definitely will have something to say about this next time.
Sound awesome. So we shall see. Now next week, I know I'm going to go and see What Women Want.
Oh yes, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. To that because I do want to see that as well. But I mean, listen, I love Taraji, but you know, I will have to see that at a later time.
You're like, no.
No, I definitely I want to see it, but I have to see that at a later time. And then obviously the week after that, you know, I got to see Happy Death Day to You. That is without a doubt the movie I want to see the most this whole month. So yeah,
I love the original so much. So I'm looking forward to the sequel.
absolutely.
Yes. So, any last thoughts that you have, sir?
Oh no, I think that's pretty much it for this week. I definitely want to thank everybody for tuning into the show. Thank you for having me on the show as well. And I definitely look forward to the next discussion we'll have on the next time.
No. Well, thank you very much for joining once again. I am Dana Abercrombie. That is Richard Bailey Jr. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back next week with another episode.
Absolutely. Talk to y'all later.
Bye.